all that He does, all of His mercy, all of His love. Pen of the writer, write every day. Even this world never contain how much I have been blessed. Walked in the winter, flowers in spring, laughter in summer, the changing of leaves, fruit on my table, a good place to sleep, clothes on my back, oh, shoes on my feet. I have been blessed. I have been blessed. God's so good to me. Precious are His thoughts of you and me. No way I could count them. There's not enough time. So I'll just thank Him for being so kind. God has been good, so good. I have been blessed. Arms that can raise, a voice that can talk, hands that can touch, legs that can walk, ears that can listen, eyes that can see. Oh, I've got to praise Him just as long as I can breathe. Oh, I have been blessed. A father and mother, nurtured and raised, a brother and sister, oh, the memories we made, a pastor to lead us, an altar to pray, stripes that can heal, oh, the blood that can save. I have been blessed. I have been blessed. God's so good to me. Precious are His thoughts of you and me. The way I could count them, there's not enough time. So I'll just thank Him for being so kind. Oh, God has been good, so good. I have been blessed. Shoulder to lean on when I am down, the rock where He leads me when I'm so overwhelmed, place where He hides me under His wings. Oh, He's not just a song, He's the very reason I sing, and I have been blessed. Oh, I have been blessed. God's so good to me. Precious are His thoughts of you and me. No way I could count them. There's not enough time. So I'll just thank Him for being so kind. God has been good, so good. I have been blessed. Thank you, Lord. Hallelujah.
Praise you, Jesus. Glory to you. Hallelujah. Praise you, Jesus. Praise you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Praise you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord.
I'll tell you what, we are a blessed people. We've got a building to worship in. We don't have to be out in the cold. We've got heat.
Yeah, amen. Praise you, Jesus.
You know, yes, there's things that break down, and yes, there's things that go wrong, and yes, it is expensive.
Right.
But God will make a way. We are so blessed. There are people overseas in other countries that walk hundreds of miles to get to one church service. Hundreds of miles. They don't have a quarter to put in the offering plate. They don't have food to eat, but yet they walk just to come in contact with Jesus. And we take so much for granted. I'm guilty. I'm guilty. I ain't no different than y'all are. I take so much for granted. Praise God. There's people out there that pray for a spouse, but yet they never get one. They yearn for children, but they never get them for some reason or another. But yet they love everybody else's. And they're being killed by and children are being killed by the millions through abortion. And there's so many people that want children that can't have them. Praise God. We are blessed. We are so blessed. Hallelujah. Sister Lenan,
Sir?
you have something?
Yes, sir.
Come on, get yours. You need a microphone, sis?
Yes, sir. Probably. I'll need one who I don't already.
Okay. All right. You got to read all that, yeah.
Yes, sir. Is this on?
Yes.
Praise you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah.
When
It's on.
Well, good evening. It's great to be in the house of God. I literally just came from work, so I look a hot mess. But anyway, I'm thankful to be here. Last weekend when the Lord spoke and said He wanted us to do communion and then a foot washing, well, I've never been to a foot washing ceremony service in a church before. Maybe you guys have. But I was praying and asking for something, I asked Him to give me some wisdom about it. So I did a little research. I'd like to share with you what God gave me. I found a blog and it has some really good information. When you have a communion and a foot washing ceremony together, which I didn't even know that people did that in churches. That's how green I am on it. But it symbolizes the beginning of a new season. Something has ended and the new season's beginning. When Jesus was giving the Last Supper, when He had the Last Supper, He washed the disciples' feet. He did that with them to symbolize and show them humility and service. Everything that Jesus did was about service, but He was showing them on that particular night that they needed to serve each other and to serve others by humbling themselves. And that culture, when you walked and went to a person's home, the first thing that you would do would be to take your sandals off and have your feet washed. And they usually had in upper class homes a servant that would come and wash your feet. And of all of the service jobs at that time a person could perform, washing someone's feet was considered the lowest and the most humbling of all service jobs. If you could think in today's time, what would you consider to be the most humbling service job? That's what that was. So Jesus, in washing the disciples' feet, was lowering himself the lowest that he could lower himself.
Amen.
He was going as low as he could go, and to the very bottom. And in that saying, this is how you're to love, this is how you're to serve your fellow brother and sister. If you can just think, Jesus being God in the flesh, coming down, and then all of the things he did from that point on were to take on for our sins. All of the whippings that took place, the crucifixion, everything was after that washing. He started washing the disciples' feet, then they had the Last Supper, and then he began his night and his ordeal with taking on the cross for our salvation. I have some points that came across this that just really stood out to me. I really felt strongly that the Holy Spirit was speaking to me. It is lameness and what they would call a sluggard or a hindering kind of spirit. That's the type of thing that's broken off in foot washing ceremonies. A foot washing ceremony is not about just putting some water on your feet and then looking like you did some kind of a religious ritual, which that's why I wanted